Morning, Doran. You're up early.
It's winter solstice.
It is time to give a sacrifice.
Oh, maybe I should get a nap before this evening then.
We tried.
I was up very early.
Not that my god's better than your god or anything.
Thank you, Sheo.
Doran, shut up.
The officers in our battalions would exchange these.
We have to fix it.
I get this is important to you.
What's Windsor Snow Slift?
I assume that's why you're up all night.
Kraloth would know what a sepulcher is.
Yes, and so would Doran.
But Justin...
But the audience, for the sake of the audience, really.
Welcome back to Dice Shame, episode 113, Hang in the Balance.
MVP this week goes to Gobby, who's catching up on our backlog and has just joined us on Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us, Gobby. If you want to connect with us on social media, you can find all the links at www.diceshamepodcast.com or, hell, email us at diceshame@gmail.com.
Who emails anymore? Looking for more horror podcasts? Rapture 518 is a psychological horror audio drama produced in Canada. Dr. Sarah Penn is a resident physician, but she's not been to work in a few weeks. Part of this is because of an imperative need to move from a rental house. Part of this is not yet known, and part of this is because of the unpredictable outbreak that's turned mild-mannered pedestrians into flesh-eating sociopaths.
What?
While the show is currently on a mini break, you can check out new episodes of its mini show within a show called Found Recordings that feature me. That's right. Go check out Rapture 518 at redcircle.com/shows/Rapture518. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, shall we do this?
Let's do it.
Ow!
So every night when we put Henry down to sleep, he has this thing where he wants us all to tell each other jokes.
Oh.
He always wants to go first. I mean, he's very much like, I'll go first.
Well, we say, who do you want to tell the joke of the night? And
Because
he always
we're
says,
nice.
everyone.
Yeah.
And Henry's 4 years old. The shit he comes up with
Oh, the
as a
jokes are-
joke.
They're very...
What did he say tonight? It was like,
Oh, tonight-
why did the lamp cross the sky?
Yeah.
Because it thought it was a human.
Oh, no, tonight's joke was, why did the school bus have skeleton arms?
Why?
And it was like, because the arms were white. Like, it's never
Yeah.
anything even resembling.
Honestly, he can compete, though. For some reason, this last week or two in our operations meeting at work, they've started them off with like somebody giving out a really bad joke. I guess one of the supervisors got like a lame joke book, but then they'll give half the riddle and forget what the rest of it was by the end of it. And so the last 10 minutes of the meeting is everybody trying to remember, like, what's the riddle that we asked at the start of this thing to figure out? And we're like, can this be over now?
You know, it sounds like I'm running your meetings.
Yeah. That's an Alex joke /story
Executive
/riddle
memory.
that starts off strong. But we all get to go through it at least. It's nice because then when I do a joke or Joe and I do a joke, at least we try.
They're good
know?
by comparison.
Oh,
We'll
they're
put
great
it that
by comparison.
way.
It's like, what's a ghost's favorite fruit? A booberry. And,
Right.
and sometimes we're taking a while to think, but we're thinking of them.
That joke can be reworked for an 18-plus crowd.
It can boobsberry.
Is that it? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah. Boob.
Oh,
Yeah.
boob berry.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
more
good.
like PG-13.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like
That's rated
maybe even
R.
PG.
The best reaction to any joke is, that's funny. Like with someone actually saying, that's funny.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yep.
So funny.
That's funny.
That's when my fake laugh comes out.
So I want to hear your best on the spot jokes right now that you have invented.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Anyone who has one can go,
Oh,
but you must invent it.
Okay.
okay, right on the spot.
Yeah.
Why do calendars have 12 months?
Why?
Why?
Because 13 would just be unlucky.
Not bad.
Get it?
That's all right.
Good.
And like on the
That's
spot.
good.
That was
That's
a
pretty
bad
good.
improv joke.
Yeah.
I like it. Anyone else?
Why do you put ice in your alcoholic drinks?
Why?
So you have someone to waste away with.
Oh, that's
Get
not one
it?
you made up. That's not one you
That's
made
very
up. There's no
sad.
way.
Literally on the spot.
Well, I am impressed.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm watching my ice melt.
Alex, can you make one up for me too?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a good one. I got to give that to you.
Why do you drink beer out of a can?
Why?
Why?
Because you can.
See, with Alex,
I
it's
see
all the
Alex's
delivery.
use now.
I'm laughing at the
Delivery.
setup. I don't care about the punchline anymore.
There was
You
also an
can watch
enthusiasm.
him discover
Well,
the punchline.
Because I think we've established Alex is great at the setup. So when the punchline is irrelevant, Alex is the king of building up to nothing, and that's sort of the essence of a joke. So
It's an enviable skill.
It is.
An enviable
Do you have
skill.
one, Harlan? Is this a Guthrie trait?
When you're put on the spot, you never can. But it's like,
yeah, no,
well, actually, that's not true.
because you were
You
just
just
put on the
did it.
spot. You pulled out 3.
What is the worst joke that's ever been told?
What?
This one.
Actually,
Yeah, it fills up.
I
Pretty
saw
clever.
it coming.
I
and
was
then
trying
it
to think of
came.
like a D&D related one.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Okay.
What's a beholder's favorite game?
what?
I
Ah,
spy.
that's good.
Eh.
What do you call a D&D marathon? A Faerun.
Oh no!
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Not bad. I laughed,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
Yeah.
entirely fake.
Why did the bard miss the battle?
Oh, why?
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 Because he had no initiative.
Oh,
Shots fired.
where do attitude-ridden drow come from?
Why? Where?
The undersnark.
Very good. Very good.
That's good.
I like that one.
Yeah, me too.
What was the sorcerer's favorite fish?
What?
What?
Eldritch bass.
That's good. I like that.
Except that's a warlock.
Fuck.
Oh.
What do you call? Yeah, that's okay. It's good. It's good.
That's the real punchline.
What is a ranger's favorite bourbon?
Oh, what?
I don't know.
Hunter's Mark.
Oh,
Right?
Very
Maker's
clever.
Mark.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
clever.
that's good. I like the ones about the different classes.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I was
trying
just
to lean
thinking
into
of
that
one,
now. It's good.
actually. Yeah.
Why is a rogue's best subject math?
Why?
Why?
Because they're so good at cunning fractions.
Cunning actions. That's good.
Very good, actually.
I like it. I thought you were going to say because they have to add up all of those D6s.
Oh, yeah, that too.
That was punny. Why do dwarves constantly feel like they don't have the same? Wait, hold on. Let me think about the word.
boy.
Hold on.
That's concise. Concise.
Now we're editing
good, though.
as you go. No,
It's okay. It's good.
Workshopping it.
What does a fighter roll when he doesn't feel up to snuff?
What?
Inferiority dice.
That's good.
I know. I was like,
You
there's
got there.
superiority. The setup could be better, but I think the punchline is solid. I need a better
Okay,
setup.
I have a good punchline, but I'm going for the setup. What is the? Oh shit! No. I think I'm gonna have to write this down. Hold on.
Okay, I got it.
Where is the best place to go on holiday year round?
where's that?
Where?
Where?
Neverwinter.
Hey, that's a good one.
pretty
That
That's
is
a good one.
one.
I mean, Jack would disagree. It's going to be Waterdeep every time.
Which class makes the best drinks?
Which?
The barbarian.
Why?
The
Oh.
barbarian.
Ah,
the
that one took
bar.
me a
You have to
second.
say it like this.
Barbarian.
The barbarian.
I
Yeah,
mean,
And
that's
raise
good.
your eyebrows up like 4 inches.
look
when you
how
say
smart I am.
Why does everyone hate playing the druid class?
Why?
They could be a real monster to play. To play.
That's good.
What is the tooth golem's favorite activity?
What the hell's a tooth golem?
brushing its teeth.
Oh my god. I think that's the lowest. I think we hit the bottom on this thing.
Yeah.
Good to know
Next
there's a bottom
monster
here.
you're fighting is a tooth golem. Called it.
Actually,
right.
I'll put it a better way. What weapon?
You're gonna tell the same dumb joke again?
What's the
Okay,
best
good.
weapon to face a tooth golem?
What?
A toothbrush.
Good one.
Get it?
What kills a tooth
Get
golem
it?
faster than any adventurer? Gingivitis.
No, that would
There
be
we
a
go.
dumb golem.
What do you get for killing a tooth golem? A nice plaque.
Oh, there it
Ah!
No, that's a joke.
We waited a long time for it, but Rob
Yeah.
came through in the end.
is. Yeah,
He did. He did.
Did you look that one up?
Nope.
Okay. 'cause-
I've been working on one that ends in gnome word bound, but I couldn't get there.
Nope. Close tab, close tab, close tab.
Where would you ever find these jokes? Alex,
Yeah.
where in the world would someone look
He's
this up?
furiously Googling jokes about a tooth golem.
Toothgolemfunnies.net.org.
Just out of curiosity, jokes about a tooth golem.
What comes
Let's
up?
just see. 65 tooth jokes that'll make you laugh out
No.
loud.
I guess you could just append golem to the end of them and it would work out well. Just for curiosity's sake, Rob, go ahead and do that for us.
What do you call a tooth golem in a glass? A 1 molar solution. Oh, fuck, it was. That's not good.
Why did the mind flayer get arrested?
Because he had illicit drugs.
He got it.
I have Googled illicit to try to figure out how illicit can work.
Literally, I can screen share right now.
I can too. Yeah, me too. Look, hold on. I'm going to do it. It's so good. I was like, what? How do I
that's so
use
funny.
illicit as illicit?
That's hilarious.
I got it right here. I was like,
Illicit drugs. Wow, my God. Yeah, okay. We got to the same
Wow.
place.
That's hilarious.
you and I. Which means we're at the bottom of the world.
All
Save
right,
us.
guys.
Save
enough
us, Joe.
joking around. Should we play some D&D?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally, get us
All
stop this
right.
bad dad jokes.
Jorking around like a orc.
What the fuck?
Orking around.
It's one of those jokes better written than said.
Orking around at the bottom of the tower.
Ladder, tower.
Whatever.
Bjork.
Bjorking around.
That's a good one. What is an orc's favorite artist? Bjork.
Did you read
Just
that?
encourages them to be
Bjork.
themselves. Yeah.
So, you guys are aboard the airship, and I believe it's a special day today. It's the 20th of Nightal, the winter solstice.
Oh.
And maybe you wake up bright and early, remembering that this is a special holiday.
I don't think Red would know it's a special holiday, so he is on the arms of an angel.
He's in the sleep-in camp.
Yeah.
I feel like Doran would have woken up early. Early as in real early. Early enough to see the stars and watch the sunrise
Cool.
on the winter solstice. And he's standing on the deck. He's bundled up and he's looking out east or west. Which way does the sun rise?
East.
He's standing on the east side of the deck, bundled up, the wind blowing, and he's looking out, remembering all of his past and doing a good, hard, deep look into life and his soul.
Adorable. Little gnarled
Adorable.
hands.
I was
Shut
just
up.
about to say,
Sorry.
this is the pun episode.
Can't be.
Adorable.
His little gnarled hands holding the edge of the railing of the deck, just looking up at the stars. You're traveling over forest and plain. There are a couple rivers that occasionally stripe the land underneath you, and a few civilizations on the horizon, sometimes lighting up the sky or belching smoke, but usually it feels very solitary. There could be flocks of birds, but largely you are alone in the sky.
Jack's stayed up late. He's still sort of down, sitting by a fire, frantically doing like his best calligraphy on these scrolls to get ready for the celebration this evening.
You're sending out Christmas cards?
I mean, he's making fancy presents for the fellows on board, but they're sketched onto these like lovely pieces of parchment paper, the best he's got in stock, and getting ready for the season.
That's very sweet.
Oddly so.
It could be awkward
What
to
are
be
you
giving
trying to
presents
do?
to someone who doesn't realize that they should be giving you presents back.
Yeah,
Is
Jack,
this like
how
a-
dare you?
No. Is this
I'm
a
just kidding.
standard custom, or is this something that's pretty specific to like Waterdeep or even Jack's family?
I mean, the winter solstice is celebrated differently everywhere, all over the place. One of the Waterdavian traditions, the great traditions, as I like to call them, is this celebration of Simril, which is, drinking and laughing and trying to stay up all night and find your lucky star. And so Jack's been up all night doing his best approximation to draw up star charts that would just show these folks, you could consider this your lucky star. And if you see it tonight, maybe good fortunes in your future. And so he's trying to get all these things ready just so nobody's lost when we're sitting out there looking at the stars tonight. Everybody's sort of at least got something to start with.
Oh, that's nice. So you're still up from the night before.
Yeah.
Doran goes back in.
Oh, I didn't realize your bedtime, Doran?
Well, no, I was up early and
Oh. And Jack just sort of suddenly tunes into himself and realizes he's been up all night, his keen sense of time
Yeah.
connecting it. Oh, maybe I should get a nap before this evening then.
well, yeah, you were reading. I didn't want to disturb you, but I was up there looking at the stars and thinking about life and family, and it's winter solstice. I assume that's why you're up all night. I think I heard about you elves staying up all night. Yeah, I think it's something you guys like to do.
They do say that about elves, just a half elf though, so every once in a while I catch a quick wink.
Yeah.
Is winter solstice a big deal in the Great Peak Mountains where you're from?
Oh yeah. I mean, us dwarves, we're constantly looking for any reason to get drunk and have a party. I mean, let's be honest here. But it brings back memories of family and friends and companions and, friends and people I've lost and, yeah.
Companions.
Companions and friends and companions.
Yeah,
But, it's especially so on the winter solstice. It's the longest night of the year,
it's the only day I ever wish for cloudy weather, because if you can find your lucky star through that overcast sky, it's a blessing from Timora.
Is it?
That's what they say.
Well, I did see a couple bright stars. I'm not sure if they were my lucky star, though.
Oh, don't worry. I got a chart. I can help you. Look, and Jack takes a minute to spread out the paper and find the one that's Doran's and sort of chart. Here's what the sky would have looked like at this time in your life, and one of these is your lucky star. So you just get to decide, and then it's a whole. And I think halfway through explaining to Doran something, the star chart's really excitingly, Jack realizes his words are starting to slur a little bit, and is like, "I'm gonna have a nap."
Yeah, you're fading pretty quickly there.
Happy winter solstice, Doran. And Jack sort of gives your shoulder a squeeze and heads towards the hammocks somewhere in the next rung over.
That's nice.
The shifts are starting to change aboard the airship. So half of the cultists are heading down below decks to go to sleep, and the other half of them are being roused and heading to their posts by the furnace or by the bellows.
I think Red walks out of his room. Morning, Doran. You're up early.
Oh, yeah, well, it's winter solstice, so I was up very early.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Ah, that's wonderful. I love when you do things.
Oh, was that today? And Kraloth leans out, and he's wearing a little nightcap.
Oh, hi, Kraloth.
And says, "Oh, I completely forgot. My goodness, time just flies. Give me 1 minute." And he goes back into his room.
Sure.
Oh, is this supposed to be a thing? What the hell's Winster Snow? What'd you call it?
Winter solstice.
What's Windsor Snow Slift?
Well, winter solstice is the longest night of the year.
Yeah, that's one.
You Tabaxi didn't...
Did I sleep through it?
Well, no.
And as he's saying this, he's kind of putting a pot of water onto the hot part of the stove to make some tea.
I guess we're far enough north. The days might be really, really short here.
Yeah, it's probably 7:30, 8 in the morning already.
Well, what is Kraloth getting? Should I do something? Is there something important? Should I get him a snow's nest or whatever you called it?
And Doran just kind of looks at Red and he says,
Nope.
All right.
It's really just another day. I mean, some cultures celebrate it with a feast or get together. I could tell you that if I was home right now, there would be a celebrating and all festivities into the wee hours of the morning. Man, that would be...
Are you missing home, buddy?
Oh, yes and no.
You know, there's no reason we couldn't swing by the Grey Peak Mountains at some point. Maybe say hi.
No.
Well, I just mean, look, you and I have grown. We're friends now. I would call you my brother. I'd love to meet the other little
Of course.
Dorian friends and family and stuff, you know? Maybe it's time. I mean, I don't have anybody. Jack, you know, I know his mother is somewhere near here. It might be nice to meet her at some point, too, but I would love to get to know everybody.
And Doran puts his hand on your shoulder and he just looks at you in the eye and he says, "No."
Okay.
No.
And it's at that point that Kraloth's door opens again. He walks into the room and he's carrying a little satchel, a bundle of fabric. And he says, "Okay, everybody gather around. This day is very important." And he's kind of all business, but also kind of serious. There's a gravitas to him.
I'll go get Jack.
Jack's head just gets his hammock, and then Kralik calls everybody out.
I feel like Red knocks on the door and like opens it as he's knocking to get Jack, and sees Jack mid getting in the hammock. And
Jack's just putting his sleep mask down over his eyes.
Sleep apnea machine. He's got a medieval sleep apnea machine.
Oh, yeah.
It's an air elemental.
It's all good. I got Kieran to run interference. I think you open the door and you get pounced by the most adorable golden retriever in the world.
Oh, sorry, Jack. I forgot. Sorry. And I nervously look back to the others. I think he was in his nightie. I didn't mean to. Sorry, Jack.
It's okay.
It's Winston Snowflist. It's the one.
Doran could easily have jumped in here and said, Jack just went to bed, but he doesn't.
Sure, Doran doesn't give a shit.
So, Kraloth, you call everyone together. The sun is just starting to rise.
Once everyone's gathered around, Kraloth kneels down in front of a barrel and begins to unfurl this sheet. And he says, "The solstice is a very important time where I come from. We treat it as a time to not necessarily celebrate, as I've seen other cultures do, but to give thanks for being carried through to this moment. We all know that there could have been many times where our lives could have ended. And for whatever reason, Kalimvor has deemed that we were deserving of staying on this side of the balance. And so, it is time to give a sacrifice, a gift of thanks to Kalimvor for keeping us on this side."
Hell yeah, friend. I'm totally in for that. Let me go check something. And Red runs back to his room.
Doran kind of speaks up and says,
"Well, I'd be happy to sacrifice something myself."
and he retrieves his sharp dagger from the back of his belt and slices his hand open.
Oh.
And then grabs the end of his beard and slices a chunk. You say the last 6 to 8 inches of his beard off in his grasp. And you watch him as he ties this sort of bloody piece of beard into a knot. And as he places it onto your towel that you've got spread out, it's actually like a very ornately done. Like it doesn't even look sloppy in the sense. Like it's a tightly bound piece of bloody dwarf beard hair.
Mm-hmm.
And he places it down and he says,
"Where I come from, the officers in our battalions would exchange these as almost a form of payment. If I said to my officer over there that I owed him one, this is what we'd give them."
And he sets it down.
Thank you, Doran.
I think Red comes back at this point, sort of jogging out of his room. He's like, yeah. And Red sort of extends over top of the satchel Shale. And he's like holding Shale at arm's length as if he's going to put him on the cloth.
No. That's a bit much of a sacrifice, I would say.
And you see in Shale's little claw, he's holding the piece of cloud that Red took.
Aww.
And like a little infant would, he sort of lets go of it. And Red's like, "Okay, drop it. And Shale puts the piece of cloud that he's carried with him since we first met the cloud giant forever ago, and then brings back Shale into his arms, and he's like, Shale wanted to be involved, and I didn't want him to sacrifice anything of his own.
That is highly appropriate. Thank you, Red. Thank you, Shale. And thank you, Doran.
Jack reaches into his pouch and pulls out a ring of keys. It's the ring of keys that he got from the bandit captain this moment when he was alone and closest to death. One of the moments he was closest to death in this last year. And he puts the ring of keys down and doesn't say much, but certainly contemplates being able to make this sacrifice with the friends who saved his life in a place that's real important to him, the Copper Cup, where his partner Torin lives. So he sort of looks real respectfully at the offerings in front of them and steps away.
Kraloth nods respectfully, and then he reaches forward and grabs a bundle of cloth that was in this sheet, and he unfolds it, and it's an apron. And he says, "You've all done a wonderful job expressing why these items are significant to you, and now I'll do the same. This apron I've had for a very, very long time, ever since I went on my first expedition, actually. And as you can see," and he shows just the front of it is covered in stains, "it might be time for a new one. But this apron has helped me create some of the best food I've ever made, and help me fill the bellies of those that I love. So this is important to me, and I thank you, apron, for protecting my good clothes." And he places it on this sheet.
I've literally never seen him wear that. I'm just joking.
All right. Well, we have all of the sacrifices. Was there anything else?
What do we do now? We give them all back, or we switch? Do I get Doran's bloodbeard?
No, it doesn't work exactly like that. And Kraloth begins to fold up the sheet, and then he ties a knot around the top and says, "You can follow me if you like. As far as the giving goes, you have done your part and you've made your sacrifice, and hopefully Kalimvor will bless us with another season of life on this side of the balance." So Kraloth takes this bundle of items and he begins to move towards the upper decks.
Doran hurriedly pours a cup of tea and follows up.
I need my tea.
Red puts Shale back in the room and follows as well. Did you make enough tea for everybody, Doran?
I did, actually. There's a whole pot right here.
And he's carrying it with him in the little cup.
Oh,
too.
you're sweet this morning. I think Red hangs back with Doran, and he says,
Yeah, bring a cup if you want some tea.
And he's carrying it up the stairs.
"Hey, look, Doran, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, by the way, about asking about your family. I sorry if I overstepped. You know me, I always seem to step in it."
Doran just looks at Red and continues.
It's fine. You didn't say anything bad. You're fine.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry. You seem to get really, hard-nosed about it. You shut me down hard, and I just wanted to make sure there was no hard feelings.
Yeah, no, of course not.
So you head up onto the deck, and the wind whips your cloaks. It's a cold morning, and the sun is just dawning, lighting the sky in reds and oranges.
It's beautiful.
It really is.
I guess it really is a special day, Jack. It seems like the sky is welcoming us.
You know, it almost looks like the sky is on fire.
So Kraloth takes this bag and he goes to the railing and he holds it over, and a thought occurs to him, and he turns back to Jack and he says, "Hey, Jack, tradition would have it that we would burn these items. We do have a fire elemental downstairs that we could use to do this, but I'm wondering if we could do this in a way that maybe is less risky and maybe even more entertaining."
You're going to skeet shoot these?
I'd love to participate however Kalimvor thinks would be best, Kraloth.
Hey, me too, buddy. If there's a way that, he can fire up my arrow and I can shoot it as you throw it overboard, include me in any way you need.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, or I could chop it in half. We could do that too.
Yeah, well, then we have two parts to throw. I do like this idea of a flaming arrow. Jack, would you be able to set flame to Red's arrow?
Why don't we do this? If you toss it on 3, I'll light Doran's crossbow bolt and Red's arrow on fire at the same time, and the flaming bolts and arrows can hit the offering if they're good enough shots.
Excellent.
Oh, that's an even better idea.
If they're good enough shots, you fuck.
All right.
Doran runs downstairs and retrieves his crossbow.
All right.
Red always has his bow on his back, and he pulls it out as he's sort of like, for the first time, feels slightly competitive with Doran.
Yeah, for the
Okay.
very
Alright.
first time.
Two people in the party shoot arrows now all of a sudden.
Kraloth, what are you going to throw first?
Kraloth has the whole bundle of all of the sacrifices in his hands, and he makes to throw it, doing this swinging gesture. And with a bit of a smirk on his face, he says, on the count of 3, everyone. 1, 2, 3! And he launches it into the sky over the deck.
And Jack snaps his fingers just as Doran and Red fired so that their ammunition lights a flame.
Roll to hit, boys.
Oh, that's a 3.
Oh, no.
And mine's also a 3.
Oh, no. The arrows fly wide, and the bag of your offerings falls out of sight.
I feel like Red's just frozen. He's like, I hit it, right? I hit it. I feel like I hit it, right?
I feel like I hit it too. You definitely didn't hit it.
Red runs to the edge and like hops up on the railing, holding on to one of the ropes that attach to the mast, and he like leans over a little bit.
As you look down over the side, you see that you are passing over a large mountain range. Now that it's bright outside, you can see that in the night you've come quite a ways. You see that the parcel of all of your offerings has fallen. It's almost too small to see now.
We all rush to the edge.
Doran, you recognize this mountain range. This is none other than the home of Mithril Hall.
Oh.
You know that Mithril Hall is a almost mythic dwarven stronghold. You've never been, but you've received many military missives from this stronghold.
Hold on a second.
Doran says as he leans over the side.
Even though you've never been here, you've seen it depicted so many times in paintings, on parchment, in frescoes, on walls, in temples, all of these different mountain ranges in Faerun that even though you've never been here before, you know it immediately.
I mean, we tried. Shall we go have breakfast? And Red hops down and starts walking towards the lower deck.
Wait.
What?
You missed it. You missed it.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I'm not perfect shot. I try, but, I'm in most of the time.
I swear I hit it still.
This was a bad idea. I got carried up in the moment and, oh dear. This isn't good.
Kraloth,
Huh?
we could go down for it. That's Mithril Hall down there. Don't you understand? Look down there. Look.
And he grabs the back of Jack's jacket and he forces him to the edge and almost pushes him not quite over, but
Doran,
to look.
Doran. I get this is important to you, but there's another important thing happening too. We're not going far.
Tell me you don't recognize that.
It looks like Mithril Hall.
What the hell's Mithril Hall? I don't understand what's going on. Who cares? We threw the things over. We threw things over. What's the problem?
Red, this is important. If we do not burn this offering, it is a bad omen. We have to take care of this. We have to go down. We are not going to Mithril Hall. I made a horrible, horrible mistake doing it this way. But we have to fix it before Kelemvor realizes what we've done. Otherwise, we will be on the other side of the balance, and I do not want any of us to be there. Do you understand?
Buddy, okay, of course.
We've got a whole day.
No one's saying anything otherwise. We've got
We've got a
time.
powerful suite of magical instruments at our hand. I'll go tell him to lower the ship right now. We'll go find it. We're not far. It couldn't have gone far.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. And I'm sorry for raising my voice. You know I don't like to do this, but this is of vital importance to our spiritual well-being. And if I would like to take care of it as soon as we possibly can.
Sure, bud. Of course. Look, you know I'm with you every step of the way. No problem.
Thank you, Red.
Doran's like running back and forth. He's unsure where to put his attention on things.
Doran, just not
but
now.
we
Just-
can
look,
get the package.
And Doran, shut up. Listen, Kralot's obviously having a moment right now. Just put that on the back burner. If we get down there and everything goes fine, then yeah, sure, maybe we can visit Mithril Hall. But you need to take
don't
it down.
understand.
Look, I just told you I wanted to see your dwarven roots.
No, but you don't understand.
Well, obviously I don't.
I know where the package is. It has fallen onto these mountains. These mountains are like a second home to me. We will find the package.
Okay, well,
I'm not
perfect.
concerned about it. We will do that.
Well,
And
do
then-
me a favor. Take it down a couple hundred notches and tell Kraloth that we're going to find it, but in a much calmer, more placid tone. Jesus, Jack. And I turn to Jack. What the fuck's going on? I feel like we've lost the plot all of a sudden.
Sometimes there's quests that take you a little bit to the side, but you've just got to trust that it's part of our path. This is important to Kraloth. It's a big day spiritually for a lot of people. Let's help him complete this quest.
All right, I'll help you turn off the boat. And I follow Jack.
Doran looks out over the side and then he turns back to Kraloth and he says, "You know what, buddy? I'm sorry that we missed it, but you couldn't have dropped your package on a better place. I mean, it's Mithril Hall. We're gonna find your package. There's no doubt in my mind."
I appreciate your optimism. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go below decks. And you see Kraloth slide his ring off his finger
Ooh.
and absent-mindedly tuck it into his pocket as he makes his way below decks.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So the airship descends from the sky and the ladders unroll and you descend onto the snowy mountainside of the Frost Hills.
All right, look, this is easy. Doran, you know this place like the back of your hand. You said you know where these would be. Worst case scenario, we can always locate object. We know a number of the things in that bag. Look, this is fine, everyone. Let's just take a few minutes, compose ourselves,
Okay.
and go about this with level heads. Remember, this is still area touched by the Shadowfell. We don't know exactly what we're getting into.
I think you've got a good idea, Red. The locate object spell. I didn't prepare it personally myself today, but we do have the Rod of the Vonandod.
I'm still attuned to it, actually. By chance, did anyone put anything adamantine in there?
No.
No.
All right, then.
So the airship ascends and leaves you alone, takes off, and soon is gone over the horizon. And there you are, standing in the crisp snow. It's on quite a slope. You are on a legit mountainside. There's dotting of evergreen trees here and there, and an eagle soars above you.
All right, well, let's locate Doran's beard hair. That should be easy enough to find. We have some of it here anyway. How far is the distance?
The rod's range, because there's nothing adamantine in there, will be 1,000 feet. Let's give it a shot just to see how close we got them to land. And Jack grabs the Rod of the Vonandod and sort of stands it tuning fork side down, because it's this giant-sized 100-pound metal tuning fork, and he channels a little bit of magic into it and really pings and rumbles, and he gets this like sense of feedback from the ground around him, looking for Doran's bloody beard hairs.
You do get a ping, Jack.
I've got something.
Oh.
Okay, all right. How do we tell where it is?
What am I feeling, Joe?
It's actually fairly close by.
Oh, nice.
You ascertain the direction and the approximate distance, and you lead the party. And you're traveling kind of laterally along this steep slope. And then you come to a ravine. And down this ravine, you see a number of stone sepulchres.
Oh.
Some stone sepulchres, guys. Maybe let's take it a little chill here. And Red sort of slows down to just a trot.
Kraloth would know what a sepulcher is.
Yes, and so would Doran.
But Justin...
But the audience, for the sake of the audience, really.
I mean, Doran absolutely would, and so would Kraloth, because these are dwarven graves.
Oh, so does Alex and Justin. But I mean, the audience, Please.
Right.
crypts, and the like. Dwarven architecture.
Right.
Does it ring familiar to the other set of dwarven graves we were in with where we found the axe?
Similar, it's a different era.
Hmm.
So these graves are far fresher, although weathered by wind and rain. The architecture is more modern.
Now let's just all take it easy here. I'm not sure what kind of bad omen your god had in store for us, Kraloth, but I'm starting to think you might be right, Red says as he scans these bizarre-looking stone edifices.
Jack's almost getting to contrast old dwarven grave architecture to new dwarven grave architecture, and so it's like almost this happened. This happened as the sun was rising. Maybe it's a sign from Lathander that led us here. He's very quietly thinking to himself, "Not that my god's better than your god or anything, but
Jesus Christ.
As you descend down into this ravine, there's a flock of crows that is gathered here atop these sepulchres. And as you make your way towards the graveyard, they take flight, cawing.
Okay, how close are we, Jack?
Jack reaches for the rod of the Vanandad and sets it up again on the ground and uses another charge to ping the location of this device just to sort of zero in one time a little closer.
You assess that the beard hair that's come from Doran Ironfist is located about 20 feet to your northwest.
It's right over there, Red, right just to your left.
All right. Red's drawn his bow at this point, and he's sort of knocked an arrow, and he's holding it down towards the ground ready as he moves slowly in that direction.
You round the corner of a taller grave and come face to face with a tombstone atop which a crow sits, unafraid. It's just staring at you, and it caws.
I don't see the bag, Jack.
The rod's saying it's right. You must be missing something.
The crow gazes at you for another minute, its jewel-bright eyes flashing, and then it takes flight.
Something seems off here. The air is still. It shouldn't be like this, Red says, nervously looking around.
Does Doran recognize these sepulchres?
Great question, Doran. As you approach this grave, you recognize the name on the tomb. Ornate Gravelbreaker.
A gravel breaker. I knew one of them.
Yes, you did. This was someone who you knew well. You said that you gave hanks of your dwarven beard hair to your brothers at arms.
Yeah.
Long ago, you fought alongside someone by this name.
This is. I didn't even know that.
What's wrong, Doran? What are you talking about?
I battled alongside Ornate Gravelbreaker. He's buried here. Remember, you know the piece of hair and blood and that we're trying to burn and find? Well, I've got a piece of Ornate's, at home.
You must have meant a lot for him to be buried with it.
Well, we were very close companions. You don't normally become that close with your comrades, but he was like a brother to me. I didn't even know that he died, let alone that I realized that he was buried here.
I can't believe it. That the odds. And Red sort of just looks almost confused at Kraloth.
Kraloth has an unreadable expression, just completely blank.
Behind you, Kraloth, the gray skies grow more overcast. Dark clouds gather on the horizon. You hear the rumble of thunder.
Okay, we have to keep moving. I'm sorry, Doran. There will be time to mourn your friend.
Well, hold on, Kraloth. And I walk over to Kraloth in a hushed tone. Look, you tossed that bag off, and out of all of the places in Faerun that we pinged an item in that bag, we were led here. Surely you must at least think there's a possibility that Kelemvor wanted us to be here. Think about it. And Red sort of looks longingly back at Doran.
His bloodied hand sitting on top of the grave, allowing his blood to touch the tombstone.
Surely your captain must be weighing in on this. What does he think? And Red sort of looks off to one side, blankly expecting Kraloth to look there in a moment.
The captain knows that this is of utmost importance, that we do find this and
Kraloth.
burn it.
Doran needs us.
As you turn back, Doran is mumbling under his breath, and you can sort of hear him say,
Oh, what happened to you, Orniet? You were my best friend. I wish I had seen you in your last days, but look, I've got new friends here, and
he shakes his head, and he says loud enough for everybody to hear now, and he almost says it towards the companions and not towards the tomb. And he says,
No. I'm lying. I knew that he died because I had a hand in his death. When we were in Jalanthar, that damn Chaos Hammer, he blackmailed me. I've been fearing telling you this, but maybe this is fate that we've landed here at this very moment. We were running from orcs, and yeah, they had us on the go, but it was my call, and it was my reason that Danlin's Peak split. It was my call, and it fell on my companions, killing everybody, all of them. You know, it's sad and it's embarrassing.
and he turns back to the gravestone. He says,
You were my brother, and I failed you. I failed all of you. But I'm not going to do that with these guys. I remember you all. Jofrin, Gredrumi, Drazjok, Redrus, Burfrin, Gordrick, Davrith, Grunmock, Sidir, and Krognik, and you. I'm not ever going to forget you.
And Doran looks as though he's about to say something else, but he stops himself.
Look, let's find this package.
He kind of hangs his head low and he starts to walk down the ravine.
I think Red 2 the whole time is just looking down at his feet.
Kraloth, a bit taken aback by this whole story, watches Doran walk away. And there's surprise on his face and new depths of understanding as to who this companion is. And after a brief moment of introspection, Kraloth shoulders the rod of the Vonadod and follows closely in Doran's footsteps.
Doran, inspiration.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Ooh.
I feel like as Red looks up again towards Jack, he says, he did mention blackmail, right?
We'll have time on the rest of the flight to do a bit of a war council. I think this is certainly something we're going to have to consider. Your gut feel about Chaos Hammer sounds like it might have been a pretty good one.
Yeah, I hate when my gut's right.
Better than the feeling of eat those berries, I guess.
Hey, did you want some, by the way? And Red grabs some from his pack as
No thanks.
he and Jack walk out of the scene.
With the use of the rod of the Vonandad, after a couple more attempts, you manage to get a second ping further on down the mountainside. And after clambering down a gravelly slope, maybe someone gets a bloody knee, you find the package wedged between two slabs of rock, almost like being presented to you.
Oh, praise the balance.
And thunder rumbles in the distance, almost in answer to you.
Kraloth takes a couple eager steps forward and stops at the sound of thunder. Kraloth cocks his head and begins to stalk towards the package.
Kraloth, as you reach for the package, you are interrupted by a voice from the trees. Hold there! And out from the copse of trees troops a small battalion of dwarves, clad in armor, carrying polearms. What brings you to the Frost Pass?
We came to pick up a package that is ours, and we have to do away with.
The patrol of dwarves is continuing to advance on your party slowly, curious about your intentions. Certainly you wouldn't mind us just taking a quick look at it to verify its contents before...
Do not touch the package.
Excuse me?
I think Red knocks an arrow and, aims it as well in support of
Ooh.
Kraloth.
You are getting between a man and his god. Jack, if they try to take the bag, be ready.
Understood.
I feel like in full view of everything, Doran sees you knock an arrow and grabs your hand and tries to pull it down so you're not aiming an arrow at them.
Yeah, Red sort of lowers his bow, sort of conflicted between his friend Kraloth and his friend Doran.
And two of the dwarves are exchanging quiet words with each other. It seems like arguing.
Look, we just want our stuff, and we want to leave.
I'm sure you know it's the winter solstice. It's a holy day for everyone. A right to Kelemvor resulted in a bad omen this morning. Please just let us finish this work.
It'll take us mere moments.
One of the dwarves is like 4 strangers on the mountain with a mysterious package looking to destroy it.
I have to admit, the life of an adventurer has led us to some bizarre places I never expected to find us in.
We'll have to inform the monarchy of this. And your name, sir?
Jack Page of the Nightstone 4.
It will be noted.
Thank you.
Oh, thank Moradin.
And your name, Tabaxi.
Red-handed Robin. And this is my friend Kraloth. We don't want any trouble.
Is there a dwarf behind you there?
And Red sort of steps aside.
And what is your name, right?
The name's Iron Fist.
Is that so?
He nods.
Well, the Nightstone 4, I suggest you get to burning your parcel and getting the hell off our mountain.
Gingerly, Kraloth kneels down, reaches forward, picks up the parcel, and it's come loose a little bit, and he tightens it again, making sure that nothing can fall out, and he tucks it under his arm and backs up next to Jack and says, "We thank you for your understanding on this day, and may Kelemvor keep you on the light side of the balance."
Yes, good evening, gents. Enjoy your celebration. And Red sort of says, backing up. His bow's still down, the arrow loose now, but still nervous to protect his friend.
And as you turn to head back to your meeting place with the airship, you hear the raised voice of one of the dwarves. "I'll see you soon, Doran!" The airship hoves into view at your smoke signals, derived from burning this package. The 4 of you gathered around its heat and light and arid smoke. And the ladders drop beside you.
Well, I feel one heck of a lot better. Hey, look! We got a bit of a blue spot in the sky. The clouds are starting to clear up. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it seems real nice, Kraloth.
Everything's going to be all right. Thank you guys for indulging me on this little side trip. I thought Kelemvor was going to have my ass. And he slips his ring back on his finger. And with a chuckle, he shakes his head and begins to climb the ladder again.
Well, on the longest night of the year, maybe we will see our lucky stars. And Jack starts climbing back up.
I think Red, one hand on the ladder, hangs back with Doran and shares a knowing look. You only gave them half the truth, Doran.
Hey, listen. They only needed to know half the truth.
And as the airship ascends into the morning sky, we see something strange flapping on the limb of a tree. Kraloth's dirty apron.
Thank you once again to our wonderful Patreon supporters, Christopher Ryan Evans, Merlin, Mitchell Cadwell, Ashley and JB, Michael and Brianna Weber, Colin Burkhardt, Daniel, Doug, Jessica Orrit, Jonah Goldman, and Mari Koneski. See you soon!